Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for this second episode into this brand new career that I'm doing on FIFA 15 with Championship side Middlesbrough. My aim for this career mode is of course to get them promoted, to get them back into the Premier League. I mean, can you believe the last time they graced the Premier League with their presence was the season 08 to 09? It seems like such a long time ago. Well, it's time to change that. It's time to get them back into the Premier League season. Now, starting off with our pre-season friendlies, our first one was against Bastia away from home, and we won 2-1. But Gibson, the youngster Gibson, did pick up an injury, and you can see that he will be out now for 2 months with a lateral collateral ligament. Also, the transfer window is still wide open here in the summer. You saw just a second ago that I wrapped up the deal for goalkeeper Parmesan. He featured in our third and final pre-season friendly at the Riverside against Hanover, which we went on to win 3-1 in the end. I wasn't really bothering playing the pre-season, so I just want to get straight into it. I don't want to be messing around too much because obviously it's going to be a longer season with it being in the Championship with 40 plus games to be played. Our other signings of the summer included J. Emmanuel Thomas, the centre-forwards from Bristol City, and also a loan from Chelsea, the youngster Loftus-Cheek. At the age of 18, I plan to get him heavily involved with the first team this season and see what he's capable of doing. Now, before we head into our first game of the season, that Capital One Cup fixture against Preston North End, you can see I've just whizzed through the squad, picking my first team that I'm probably going to be sticking with throughout this season, and also the formation, which I suppose you could call the 4-3-3, having a lone striker with Kike, or it could be J. Emmanuel Thomas on the day, doesn't really matter who, and they will be heavily reliant on the two wingers that were pushing out wide. I've got my central midfields nicely planned with Lee Tomlin as the central attacking mid. You'll see it better here in a minute. And Captain Whitehead just dropping into that central defensive mid role in support of the back four. And I'm confident that this is the team that's going to help us get promotion to the Premier League this season. Now, moving on to our first competitive game of the season, and it will come in the Capital One Cup in the first round of that against Preston North End. Thankfully, we were playing at the Riverside, but Preston, wow, what a challenge they put up for this Borough side. I didn't quite know what to expect from Preston going into this game. I know that they're decent going forwards, and in real life they're actually in the League One playoff against Swindon. The main guy that we had to watch out for in this game, of course, was Beckford. Such a hitman in front of goal for Preston, and I'm sure he'll do decent if they do get into the Championship, but obviously with FIFA 15 it's quite a different story. Reece Williams managed to clear the danger, which Preston seemed to be piling upon us. We were finding it difficult to try and get out of that little rut that we found ourselves in early on in this game. And the thought of going a goal down and having to chase this game so early on, it just didn't tick right with me. So I had to really go like the clappers so early on in the season as well to ensure that we got the first goal of the game. It was so important that we did that against Preston. I mean, it would be disastrous if we got knocked out against Preston right at the start of the season, before we even kicked off with the new Championship campaign. It would be terrible for this career mode. But Kike here in the 38th minute, it had Tomlin in support, could have easily have passed to him. Not sure about the celebration there, but he found the back of the net all right, and he made it 1-0 to Middlesbrough with just minutes to go before half-time. And what a powerful shot. If that's what he's capable of doing, I hope to see more, obviously, as the season goes on. He just powered that into the back of the net. The keeper rooted to the spot. I expected better of the Preston goalkeeper. I mean, the ball was so close to him that, and because of the power of it, probably shaved a few hair arms. He should have done better, to be honest. Into the second half, though, it was an absolute slugfest as we was holding on to our lead and Preston were digging deep to try and get an equaliser, and we could have extended our lead to 2 goals from Tomlin there, and I'm just absolutely shocked. I couldn't believe it when the ball was in row Z pretty much. Tomlin should have been doing better. We could have extended our lead, though, to 2-0 right in the 90th minute with that bit of pace shown by Nsue. A great shot on target, but some would say the keeper did even better to stop the ball in its tracks. We did hold on to that 1-0 lead, and that will see us through to the next round of the Capital One Cup. Wasn't a very convincing win, as Preston, they had quite a few good chances and could have easily have turned this game around on its head and made it 2-1 for all we know. Thankfully, Williams and Morbriette, I think that's how you pronounce his name, were looking sharp on the day, and we managed to come away with that 1-0 win. And then it was on to a couple of more transfers. Offloaded Bryn Morris here at the age of 18, central midfielder, overall 53. I didn't really see much chance for him in the first team this season, and if we do get Premier League for next year, I don't see him fitting in to my first team plan. So off he went, and it was on to the opening day of this season's Championship campaign. We're at the Riverside against Reading. Same formation, same starting lineup, apart from one change at the back, as Alex Bruce came in to replace Reece Williams as he got his debut in a Middlesbrough shirt in our first Championship game of the season. And what a game it was. I wasn't expecting it to be so lively with the amount of chances that we had, and our passing was just amazing. You can see how we're zipping the ball around with such confidence. We're ready almost for the new season. Kike got off to a good start there with a good effective shot, making the Reading goalkeeper work. And again, Federici was made to work, as for sure did well with the finesse shot on his left foot. Federici unable, he'd probably been hoping that he knocked that out for a corner, but when he came back up, he saw the ball going into the back of the net off his own teammate's foot. It was classed as an own goal, but I'm not sure whether for sure would take that as his own. So we found ourselves a goal up against Reading, a team that's been predicted promotion to the Premier League, but they were right back in it. Moments removed from the first goal from Middlesbrough. It was Williams with a fantastic volley. It's great bit of link-up play from Reading. Nice little 1-2s here, and back to Williams on the volley. Pomazan unable to do anything about that. As strange as it sounds, that equaliser from Reading kind of worked in our favour. I know it sounds weird and all, but it gave us like an extra spring in our step, as he gave us something to work for. Adamar didn't do so well there. It's a poor shot on his left foot. It's not his best. But we were making our intentions known to Reading, and whether they would do anything about it, well, of course it was up to them. So far they weren't. Coming up to the half-time, and Kike did make it 2-1 with that tremendous shot. Such power behind it that the keeper couldn't stop. I mean, he stuck his foot out. Why he wasn't using his hands and why he didn't go to ground, I don't know. I mean, the ball just deflected off his foot. Well, took a small deflection and went into the back of the net. So Reading found themselves on the back foot yet again against Middlesbrough. Now, even though we were a goal in front against Reading with half-time looming, we could take so many positives from this game already. Our passing was graceful. It was an art. And we did find the back of the net once again, thanks to that type of passing, that type of Brazilian style, quick tiki-taka style passing. And it was Tomlin, it was sweetly struck, and Federici, wow, what a poor goalkeeper. He was poor in this game anyway, let's put it that way. I mean, the ball was struck straight at the keeper. He should be saving that, really. And I suppose, you know, going into this game, Federici has been in the headlines wanting to leave. He has handed in his written transfer to Reading, apparently. So I would say that worked in our favour. It worked straight into our hands with the Reading keeper being unsettled and wanting to move to greener pastures. Of course, I was happy with that as long as the Reading manager didn't decide to take Federici off come the second half, because if he was going to keep up that level of performance come the second half, then we could maybe go grab a couple of goals and get off to a cracking start for this new season, this new career mode with Middlesbrough. And we almost made it 4-1 in the 67th minute. Obviously the fans would have loved to have seen that. You can see them in the background there with their arms raised in a V. But Federici obviously received some stern words off his manager in that dressing room at half-time, and it's almost as if he can flick a switch and he can start performing a lot better. I mean, look at these saves that he was pulling off, denying us of getting that fourth goal. And we never did get it, because the final score was just 3-1 to Middlesbrough. Bit disappointing, but you know what, as I said, we could take so many positives. Our passing was so fluid, and we hit the opposition, an opposition that was very lacklustre on the day, on the break, when it mattered, and made it count. 3-1 then to Middlesbrough on the first day of this championship season. Very good start, I would say, and as you can see with the headline here, second game victory for PAYTON. So we're through to the next round of the Capital One Cup, and we've got 3 points already on the board. But it's still early days. That's it from me then, guys. Hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in the next one.